Right, it's going to be quite a quick blog today, this week, because I don't have much to report. First, a number of apologies. I forgot to mention in last week's blog, and I don't know why, because I wrote it down here, that Drew Dober, who's had quite a successful amateur career, went professional last week in a fight, and I haven't heard how that went. But I should have announced it last week, so apologies there. Equally, apologies to Hollywood Cole, who fought last week. He's a Hit Squad affiliate who I should have mentioned, but didn't for some reason. I have heard from him, in fact, and he won by TKO in the second round. So well done to him. There's nothing to report in terms of my work. There's nothing really to report in terms of mixed martial arts. I mean, the Affliction promotion has folded. The UFC and the next WEC are not until next weekend. There's nobody fighting this week, although Peter Spratt is going in for surgery on what I'm not quite sure, so I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. But we're of course hoping for a swift recovery there. And my prediction videos for the UFC and WEC are already up, so do take a look at them. The Strikeforce predictions are following very shortly. That's coming up sort of also in the next sort of week or two. This week my family, my parents have gone on holiday, so I'm spending quite a lot of time around here looking after their pet cat called Minnie. We think she's been abandoned at one point in time because she gets very distressed if she's left on her own for more than a day or so. She gets really distressed. So I'm sort of coming around to try and calm her down to make sure that, you know, there's still human contact for her while my parents go away for the week. The only other thing to say, of course, is that this weekend was supposed to be the next Cage Gladiators event. So I was going to go to Liverpool for that, but the event has folded. It's folded because Emil Coleman, who was in partnership with Chris Zorba, decided to pull out of the institution, mostly because he'd done it for quite some time, and he'd done a lot of sort of various different things, and his wife was about to have a child, and he needed to sort of start to amalgamate, you know, so that he had one job rather than little bits here, there and everywhere, so I understand. And Cage Gladiators was one of the things that he decided to pull out of, and Chris Zorba couldn't manage to run it on his own. So that ceased trading. I am a little bit sad about that, because I was making quite good friends there. I did at one point consider moving, in fact, to Liverpool, but decided not to, mostly because of the recession and leaving the jobs and not being able to get a transfer from my work over there. I don't consider it a waste, because I've gained some valuable experience and I've enjoyed it a lot, so I will miss it. I am quite sad, but I'm quite sort of pleased and very grateful for what I had. It came about because I was looking through my Fighters Only magazine, deciding on whether or not to keep my subscription to it, and I decided that in order to sort of verify my continued subscription with the money costs, I would have to use it for something, and I thought, well, why don't I go and visit a few local mixed martial arts promotions? And of course one of the closest was Cage Gladiators in Liverpool, so I went over there, took my camera with me, recorded a few things and uploaded it onto my YouTube profile, and I got the attention of Emil Coleman, the co-owner, who invited me back. So I went back, and to thank him I did a write-up that got published by MMAHitPit.com, and that was sort of, that got the ball rolling, and it just continued. I just continued to go to be invited to every promotion they did in Liverpool. They did have a small feeder in Chester as well, which I didn't go to. It was far too far away. I was invited once, but I sort of thought, well, I can't do both really. And I've been doing that for the last year, so it's over now. I am in consultation with a new promotion which has just opened up in Hull. It's actually called the 10th Legion, and it's sort of run by a clothes wear promotion, and the guy that runs that is in York, who I'm hopefully going to see shortly. The thing is, of course, I've missed a few of those. I missed one in April, and the next one is when I'm on holiday in the US, so it might be a while because I think they only do one every quarter, but we'll see where that leads me. Anyway, because that was cancelled, I went to visit my good friend Martin Brown from Sheffield. I know Martin through university. We met at a house church there. We both went to a house church called Sherborne Road Community Church, which was running the infamous Alpha course, and we were sort of veterans. We used to go along all the time, and that's how we met each other. And when I got attacked in my second year in my student home, Martin Brown was the person who said, well, look, I've got a car and I'll make sure that you can get there and back every week, you know, and be safe. So that's sort of how our friendship began, and then of course he moved into the same halls as me in the final year, and we've kept in touch all the way through my time at St Paul's, when he came down to visit me several times, and then afterwards as well, and he goes across to visit me sometimes, and I go across to visit him in Sheffield, where he is based now. So that was nice. He actually trains in karate twice a week, and his team were doing a competition on the Sunday, so he said, well, I'll take you to that, I wouldn't go otherwise, because he doesn't compete himself, but he said, do you take me along? So I went along for that, and that was pretty nice. I'll finish with the prayers then. We are praying as ever for our forum moderator called Boomer, who is out on deployment with the US forces in Afghanistan. We're also praying for our forum patron called Bonnie, who has had lung cancer. She's had chemotherapy on it several times and went in last week to have it surgically removed. We have heard that things went well, although she'll still have to have more chemotherapy afterwards, and possibly radiation therapy as well. But that's an answer to prayer, both an answer to prayer and a reason to keep praying, I think, there. And finally, to mention our forum patron called Bill Williams, who announced on the forum that his teenage son has in fact died this past week. So our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family as they sort of come to terms with their loss there and their bereavement. And I think that's all I have to report this week. Not such a short blog after all.